some 45 years since we brought the Blazers here. And in those 45 and in the next 45, the Blazers will never have a better human being than Jerome Kersey. Uh, I know of only one person he disappointed in his entire life, and that was my little 9-year-old granddaughter, who got very upset when he got married instead of waiting for her. Uh, the media's been full of all the things about Jerome's career. You're going to hear a lot more about it today. So I thought I'd talk for a moment or two about how he got here in the first place. And we're going back into the 80s now when Stu Inman was our general manager, or more appropriately known as director of player personnel. And Morris Bucky Buckwalter was our chief scout. And as we talked over the summer about, and Stu was lining up the teams he wanted Bucky to see and report on, one of the things that Bucky insisted on is that we needed more athletes. We had Clyde, but he thought we needed at least one more, and perhaps even two, guys who could run and jump. And that's what he was going to concentrate on his scouting that year. And every time he'd come back from a trip, he'd have a list of guys that he thought make it, but he wasn't really that thrilled about it until he went to a tournament, and I think it was in Portsmouth toward the end of the season, and he saw Jerome Kersey out of a little school called Longwood, girls' school that didn't even have a basketball team until a couple of years before that. And he fell in love with him. Came back and he says, I think he'll be there in the second round, and we got to have him. Well, Stu liked another guy, and he liked Kersey a lot. He had seen him also, but he liked another guy. He liked the other guy. If he was a 10, then Kersey was a 9.9. They were that close. And my only job during draft day was to announce who we were going to take. We did it by a telephone conference call in those days. And we had a big list of all the guys that were there, and as they were drafted, we crossed them off. And when we finally got, I think it was about the 40th pick in the second round, there were 3 or 4 names still on the board, and Jerome Kersey was one of them, as well as this other guy whose name I don't even recall. And they were discussing this back and forth. I said, I wish you guys would make your mind up. We only have 30 seconds when they call our name, or we're going to lose the draft choice. So finally they called our name, Portland. I said, give me a name. And Bucky says, we got to have Kersey. And Stu says, all right, damn it, take Kersey. And that's how we wound up here. And in those days we had rookie camps. He came out here, played in it. And Jack Ramsey, our coach, came and says, is there any way we can send this guy to Europe for a year? We don't want to lose his rights. And I said, yeah, I think we can probably work that out. But I think we ought to talk to Jerome about it first. We did, and Jerome said, hell no, I'm going to come to your training camp, and I'm going to make your team. He did, and he played a vital part on a team that won 2 conference championships. And those were 90 and 92, and I'll always believe it wasn't for a fluke loss to the Lakers in the conference finals. That team would have won it all. They won 63 games, which I think is still the all-time Blazer record. Beat Chicago by 20 back there and 20 out here. That was a great team, and Jerome was a vital part of it. Thank you very much for being here.